Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? This should be an interesting Tuesday Talks. I have some help today, as you may or may not see. Oh, he's behind me now. There he is. The old rebel has decided to join me. There we go. So I thought I would give it a shot and have him here with me and see how it goes. Let me know that you're here. Okay, it won't let me do that. Okay. So let me know that you're here. This is Tuesday Talks at 10:30. I am your host, Evidential Medium, Stacy Niedenthal. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lots of things coming up. Lots of events. We've got, 4 or 5 events that have been placed up. I guess I should have written them down so that I could announce them. But we're going to be at Kismet Epiphany again and Collective, Collective Creations again. Collective. Isn't that awful? I don't have my book here with me. And then we are going to be at the Grazing Room as well as back at Havre de Grace. So good morning, good morning. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. Got an interesting topic to talk about today. It is Tuesday, January 28th. Can you believe it already? We're almost at the end of January and we're going into February. And of course, February is that month of love. Woo! Where we're going to focus on love. I do have a friend of mine, Rose Claire, and I are doing a class on Zoom. And it is every month. And every month we talk about opening up to spirit, getting the mud off your spiritual shoes. And if you haven't joined that yet and you'd be interested in it, definitely click on my link, the Connecting to Spirit with Stacy.com, and join the event. It's once a month. We meet for an hour, and then for a half hour afterwards, we do a circle where we are meditating and putting energy out into the world. So good morning, good morning, good morning. Say hello. Let me know that you're here. Today, I wanted to talk about how you read words. Interesting, right? How do you read words? So we all get emails and text messages on a daily basis. I mean, I can wake up to 100 emails, but I do have 3 different accounts. So, but it's how you read them, how you perceive text message that come to you. And I've often said, I could send a text to one of my kids that says, "Where you at?" And they may read it, "Where you at?" Like it has a tone. So, as a medium, as a psychic, I use angel and oracle cards quite a bit. And those cards tend to connect me to angels and guides and my higher self to give a message to the client who is sitting in front of me. It's just a tool that I use, so it enables me to get clarity about what the universe wants to say. Here we go. It should be fun. So, as a writer, as an author, I also use cards. And the cards that I use, they're called Storymatic cards. Here they are. Oh, well, they're Storymatic cards. And writers use them when they get writer's blocks and they pull a couple cards and they create a story about what they have pulled. And they prompt you to write about things to help you to expand your thought process. It's weird how the, okay, maybe you didn't see that. But it expands your thought process. So I thought, why not put the two together? So I pulled some cards, and the cards that I pulled, one is Undeveloped Roll of Film. This is the order that I pulled them in. And Snob, Eavesdropper, Lightning, If Only What Was Said Could Be Taken Back, and person who will do whatever it takes. So I put these cards in front of me most of the day and wrote about them last night. And how it's set up, the gold cards, let me just look here at my notes. The gold cards are supposed to be the character. So that would be the snob, the eavesdropper, and the person who will do whatever it takes. And then the other cards are the story, undeveloped roll of film, lightning, if only what was said could be taken back. So as I thought about these words that were prompting me, it pushed me to think about the connection that I have with my higher self. It prompted me to think about the eavesdropper. So the eavesdropper would be our angels, our guides, our loved ones that have gone before us, God, and our higher self as well. It's who is our team that's around us that pushes us to strive to be the best person that we can be. And when I think about this higher self, it also brings to mind regrets and things that I haven't done. So when you think about, hold on, I have to so let's just let's just get into this. I have this all written up, and it's kind of all over the place, but I think that you're going to understand how you can take certain words and put a twist on them so it brings you higher esteem and higher power instead of taking the feet out from underneath of you. So when you think about the eavesdropper, and it's symbolizing the angels and the guides and our higher self, if you don't know, our higher self is our greatest potential. It's the greatest part of us of what we can be. And I read the definition of what it said that your higher self was in the spiritual woo-woo world. And it is the space between words, the stillness that rests in all of us, a part of all aspects that transcends the ego and your personal identity, the source of wisdom, intuition, and a deeper understanding of our life purpose, the great belief in yourself that realizes you are a great addition to this world. So, the eavesdropper, our higher self, says, you can do so much. Nothing is stopping you. We're going to help you to be the best that you can. In between the words. So what is in between the words? Silence, meditation, prayer. It's that thought process that makes you think, there we go. Say hello to Rebel. That makes your intuition kind of light up. Almost like lightning. I didn't put that in there, but it makes your intuition light up. And it's what we need to pay attention to. We all have this voice inside of us, but we don't always pay attention to it. We believe that we know better. We're kind of the snob. Our human self tends to be a snob to our higher self, to the eavesdropper, because we don't have enough faith and confidence in ourselves. And maybe when you were younger, you didn't get the moral support that you needed that made you think and feel like you could accomplish anything that you set your mind to. So you don't have the tools to say that to yourself, to think through that process. You just kind of throw it all away. It ain't broke, so I'm not going to fix it. I'm just going to do the things the same way every single day. There's nothing better for me. This is just who I am. So there can be a lack of confidence that the snob in us, the human part of us, makes stronger than our eavesdroppers. So in between the words is where our higher self is. So maybe it's time to tell the snob to be quiet, to listen, to pay attention to the world around us. Self-confidence, or not having been emotionally supported, is a skill set that can be hard to reinvent grow into at an older age. Because it's just always been this way. I've always been told I can't do this, or I shouldn't do this, or maybe, you should be seen and not heard. But the eavesdropper is saying you have a purpose. Talk, be, do. It's the service of doing things for other people. So you can kind of be that eavesdropper for others. I feel as if we're kind of eavesdroppers for our kids because we've been there, done that. But we don't want to constantly tell them what to do, but we want to support them in everything that they do. So when is enough going to be enough? When are you going to tell the snob inside your head to be quiet and let the eavesdroppers, the higher self, come in and say, let me take your hand. Let me show you how to do this. When are you going to allow your dreams and your healing and your service to others grow? That's what the eavesdropper is tapping on your shoulder saying to you. Help others with the wisdom that you already have. Do, be, accomplish. Listen. Connect on that spiritual path. Because they've got a lot of information that they can give us in between the words. It's stopping the mind from talking over yourself, which is not an easy thing to do. But it's inviting, it's inviting the possibilities of abundance into your life. It's inviting, if you can't say, I'm inviting abundance, invite the possibility of abundance. Invite the possibility of greatness, of wisdom. So the person who will do whatever it will take, tends to do these inner journeys and reflect on themselves. How can I do better? How can I be better? It's not ego. It's that true source within yourself that wants to accomplish more to help heal the world. It's not about receiving. It's about giving to others based on your wisdom and your experience. It's about listening to chances can be. Oh, hold on. Something just happened. Hold on. I see I'm spooling. I'll wait for a second, take a drink. All right, I'm back. I guess that was a short commercial break. So it's finding the strength within yourself to be the person who will do whatever it takes. It's growing from the mistakes, the regrets, the things that weren't given to you. It's not being stuck in that situation. Well, this is the way it's always been. My life's always been screwed, so I guess my life's always going to be screwed. You know what? Get a screwdriver and unscrew it. You're here on this earth for a very short time. Make the best of it. Be the best that you can be. Bring light, into your life. There we go. Like lightning. Lighten up. That's vibration, that's electric, that's energy within yourself. Turn that light switch on within yourself. And you know what needs light? Undeveloped roll of film. In order for film to be developed, it needs light. And the light that it takes for these snapshots, these are those special moments in time. The memories that take you back to different things. So it's the life that you had, but also the life that you can have. And if you don't add light to your life, then you've got all this undeveloped film within yourself. When I was writing this, like a memory flashed back into my head. When my grandmother passed 42 years ago, 41 years ago, it's crazy how long ago it was that my grandmother passed. I found, this is going to age me, well, it ages her. I found this shirt box. It was an Irelease shirt box, and it was filled with negatives. And I took all those negatives and got them developed because I didn't know what my grandmother had pictures of. I mean, you could hold them up to the light and see it, but you know how that is where the light shines through and you see the teeth and the eyes and you're like, I can't figure out who this is. And I had not thought about that album since we moved into the school here at Hip Gypsy. And I actually stopped while I was writing um, when I was writing Tuesday Talks, and I went and I looked for this album. And at first I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it. I'm like, I'll look for it later. And I got on the phone with my husband, and we're talking on the phone, and I thought, while I'm on the phone to him, I'm going to walk down in the basement and I'm going to look in the boxes. And right there it was. Right there it was. This album that was filled with negatives that I had developed. Okay? See this handsome fella right here? That's a picture of my Uncle Glenn that I talk about all the time. And his wife, my Aunt Madeline. And this is my grandfather. But there are so many pictures in this of before I was born, and even pictures of when I was a child. Almost all of them in black and white. And they all tell stories. It's all a moment in time that I wasn't a part of. But my eavesdroppers were a part of it. Those who have gone before me. My Uncle Glenn had such an impact on my life in my later years. Literally knew him all my life, but didn't really know him until I was maybe 35, where we sat down and had a couple conversations and I got to know him and what an impact he made on my life in the 20 years that he was in my life before he passed. And when I think about all of these photos, and when I look at old photos that I have, it instantly takes me back to that moment in time. And I can hear the kids laughing, or I remember there's a picture in here, like one of my favorite memories of when I was a kid, when I got Lammy Pie, and this was a doll that looked like a lamb, and the picture is in there. And I remember that so vividly. I remember where I was sitting in our old farmhouse. I remember when I opened it, she didn't work, and my father took her back to the store and then came back. And I literally had Lammy Pie until I moved to New Jersey, and I had a schnauzer, and the schnauzer got a hold of it and chewed her apart and absolutely broke my heart. But I was like in my 20s. Yeah, I was in my 20s when I lost Lammy Pie. So even Lammy Pie is that eavesdropper because she meant so much to me. So the generations that have passed before us have set the tone for us because of their wisdom, because of the traditions that they have passed down to us from generation to generation, and the stories that they tell, and the hardships they've endured, and the victories that they've endured. That's all part of my DNA. Don't you think that they would want me to be the person that would do whatever it takes to make a name or make traditions for my kids and my grandkids and my great-grandkids, for their great-grandkids, great-great-grandkids, and great-great-great, it's all this circle. It's all this circle that you think of words that come at you via emails or text messages or, social media, and you read something and then you think about how you're going to respond. It gives you this, I don't know, it can give you this emotion within you. It either pisses you off, makes you smile, makes you sad, makes you laugh. But you have the choice with that. With social media, there's this magical thing that if you don't like what you read, you go, whoop. You don't have to say something. You don't have to announce something. You can be a snob to that. Right? What we put out in this universe is what we get back. Listen to the eavesdroppers in the silence between the words. Is that how it was written? Hold on. I don't want to say it the wrong way. The space between the words. Have you ever thought about Silence speaks louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. So the silence in between the words. You have one of those friends or one of those people that are in your family that no matter what you say, oh, I've done that. I know that. I've been there. Oh, now you know how I feel. Oh, they don't know the silence in between the words. The silence in between the words is our experience, our listening to our higher self. And it's hard sometimes to get silent. You know, we are the snob. That's one of the words. We're the snob to the silence. Nope, I don't want it to be silent. Silence can be uncomfortable. It can be uncomfortable to go out to eat by yourself because there's silence. Well, you know what? Break the silence. Break that habit of thinking. Don't break the silence. Break the awkwardness. Pray, meditate, think. Add light and energy to yourself. Be the person that would do anything. And if there are words that need to be taken back that you've said, make amends. Don't get stuck on that. If there's words that were said to you that you're stuck in, do you really want to be stuck in them? Or do you want to say, I am the person I am now because in the silence, I learned those words have no impact on me unless I allow them to have impact. There are a lot of things that we have no control over, a lot of things in the world. But we can control what enters into our energy field, what we allow in our spirit. So, there are things that you need to be a snob to. Negative energy. Snub them. You know? People who just can't say anything good about anything. You know what? Be kind to them. But be a snob to their negative energy, right? Add light to them. Light them up, right? It's so good to see you. How have you been? I was thinking about you the other day. I've been sending you energy. I've been praying for you. My prayer list is getting longer and longer and longer the older that I get. But I feel compelled to send light and energy to others, to be able to maybe help them develop that roll of film, to be a snapshot in their life, like Uncle Glenn was. He was a huge snapshot to me, and I miss him so much. I mean, 12 o'clock last night, I'm writing Tuesday Talks, and I come across these photos, and I start taking pictures of them and sending them to my cousin. I'm like, I know it's late, but I'm up writing, and look at these pictures. And they were pictures of his mom and dad, Uncle Glenn and Aunt Madeline, and he and his brothers. And this morning I get this message, oh my gosh. I remember, he called him Pappy, I called him Poppy. I remember, Grandma and Poppy's house, and I believe that it was there, and there was, and we're texting back and forth these stories. Live through those stories, but only the good stories, and make your own good stories. It is the silence between the words, listening to the eavesdroppers. So when I'm talking about this, let me see if I can see any comments. Fudge. No comments. No comments. I see no comments. I'm sorry. So when I think about this, it also makes me go back to a time where meditating was very difficult for me. And in my students that I mentor, in my clients that I have, when I talk to them about meditation, they say, oh, I can't meditate. Well, meditation is simply turning the mind off. Simply, remember? So what I usually post to them, and I posted this the other day on my social media, if they say, I can't meditate, I will say to them, can you take a shower? Well, of course I can take a shower. So as you're taking a shower, allow that water to come down over you, paying attention to the sound of the water, Visualizing that water cleansing any negative thoughts, anything from yesterday or the past, and renewing you to start a new day. And a meditation does not have to be a 3-hour kumbaya. It can literally be 3 minutes. It can be 3 deep breaths. But it is allowing you to get quiet, and in between the words, all of a sudden revelations will come. You might see a bright light in your third eye. You might hear the voice of a loved one. You might get an answer to a situation that's been bothering you. You may be able to release something from the day before. You have a bad day at work, you carry it home, you go to sleep, you can't sleep, you get up in the morning, you got to go to work again, and you don't want that situation again. But taking a shower, releasing it, watching it go down the drain, it's no longer yours, enables the eavesdroppers a chance to come in and say, "Good morning. We love you. You're important. You have potential. Greater things you will do through me than I have done myself." To me, one of the greatest verses in the Bible. Greater things I will do through Christ than he has done himself. Wow. So that's some undeveloped film that needs to be developed. What can I do to be of service to others for Creator, to be greater than the human self that I am? So, I was just looking back over the words to see if there's something else that I needed to say. So it's hearing those words in the stillness and taking the words that are given to you and seeing the positive in them. So even if it's an email or a text message, see the positive. Maybe there's a lesson in there for you to learn, or maybe there's a lesson for them to learn. Or you know what? Delete, block, see you later, bye. But it's the words. It's the silence in the words. It's the space between the words, in the stillness that rests in all of us. A part of all aspects that transcends ego. The snob is ego. Think about that. When we get our ego involved, we're a snob. We can't see anything greater than what is in our own head. Sometimes we need to turn that volume down and listen to the space between the words. It's the source of wisdom, intuition, and a deeper understanding of our life purpose. The great belief in yourself that you realize you are a great addition to this world. There is a reason why you are here, my friend. Maybe you don't know what it is, but if you strive every day to be as caring and as loving as you possibly can, and that you pause and listen to the silence in between the words, it shows that no matter what the words are that are placed in front of you, you can make good out of that. You can bring positive energy to it for your spiritual path, for your awakening, for your life, for the betterment of others, for the universe, for other people. Because then you'll start to get the wisdom and the knowledge and the wherewithal to truly live the life you love and love the life you live. Because if there needs to be a change, you'll see it. You'll recognize it. You'll know that it needs to be done. Because the eavesdroppers have tapped on your shoulder. You did not snub them. You allowed yourself to be the person that you could be. You took back the words so that your mind is quiet. And you allowed that undeveloped roll of film to develop, to grow, to be, to add color to your life. Make sense? All right, guys. That's my little ditty for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made sense because I wanted to really pull these cards and then allow my eavesdroppers to inspire me. And my higher self knocked on my door and said, let's light this baby up. And this lightning came, right? And I stumble, as we all do, on words that other people have said to me. But I seem like I stumble the most on words that I say to myself. So it is listening to the silence between those words. All right, guys. I do have some appointments that are available and some events that are coming up. Go to connectingtospiritwithstacy.com. If you feel like this would help someone, feel free to share Tuesday Talks. Don't forget tonight on Bold Brave Media, I will be on at 8 p.m. and we're going to talk about some other goodies. So I hope you have a great and wonderful day. It's beautiful out, and I will talk to you tonight or next week. Peace out. I love you. Listen to the silence in between the words and let those eavesdroppers guide you to be the person that will do anything to be the good person. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.